Hey, good afternoon. This is Chris. Keeping it real. Facts over fear. How you doing this afternoon? Beautiful day here in central North Carolina. It's about 51 degrees. Bright, sunshiny day. Excuse me. Not sick, just a cough. We're all paranoid, right? Every time I cough, it's like, oh my gosh, no. Watched a few videos from Dr. John Campbell this morning. If you haven't heard him, I will put a link to his channel in the description. Well worth the time. Talks a lot about coronavirus, and of course he's a doctor of nursing, so he's not a medical doctor, but he still has a doctorate, and obviously a very knowledgeable individual, and knows how to do his homework. Doesn't waste your time. And one thing I do like about his videos is he'll say, okay, here's the short version in case you don't have time, because his videos do tend to run half hour-ish or more, so he'll give you the upshot right away, and then you can decide whether or not you want to listen to it. But anyway, this morning he's talking about the Astra Zeneca vaccine, the third major vaccine. It's on the verge of being approved in the UK, which I think probably means, well, the phase 3 trials are underway in the United States. You know, you might have remembered back in October, those trials were paused because there was, and I can't remember if somebody either got very sick or somebody died. I don't remember. I think it was just a really bad adverse reaction, and it was like just one or two. But then they got, the FDA got to looking at it, and there were some other irregularities with the way the reports were being done, and there were omissions. So they paused it, looked into it, and allowed them to continue. I don't know if it was sometime last month, probably. And so they're nearing the end of their phase 3 trials. The advantages of the AstraZeneca vaccine is that it can be stored in a refrigerator, and so obviously that makes it a lot easier to transport than if you have to keep it at -70 or -20, I think is what the Moderna virus and vaccine is. -70s for the Pfizer virus, so it makes it a lot easier to transport. Evidently, it's a little bit easier to make. The reason it can be refrigerated is because it's made out of DNA and not RNA, which evidently is a little bit tougher. Not quite so easy to degrade. It has a snippet of DNA code, so it's a whole DNA sequence, and it makes its way into the cell. I didn't really look and see how it makes its way into the cell. I forgot to do that. And John Campbell did not mention that this morning during the video, so I'm not quite sure the mechanism, but somehow gets into the cell, gets in the nucleus, the cell does what it does, and so it's this DNA thing that unzippers, and so the messenger RNA comes in, reads the information, takes it back out the cytoplasm. So evidently it's just another way to get to the same end that these other vaccines are getting to. It's a little bit more robust in that it's not as easily degraded by temperature and other things. And so that's good news. And evidently, he went through a very long and detailed explanation of why it's actually probably a slightly better vaccine, because it provokes a more unified response from the immune system than the other two vaccines do. It seems like every facet of your immune system gets called into action in a much more cohesive manner than with the other vaccines. Again, I'm not a vaccine expert, and so I'm kind of taking his word for it. I mean, what he said makes perfect sense, but I can't really evaluate that. I don't have the training, but at the end of the day, all three vaccines work in approximately roughly the same manner. They are using messenger RNA. At the end of the day, they're using messenger RNA to create the spiky thing that expresses itself on the cell surface, and then of course the immune system understands then what it needs. It's a clue, right? We need to gear up. So one of the interesting things about this vaccine was that when they were doing the initial trials, there were some people who were given a half of the first dose and then a full dose on the second dose, and they found out the results were a lot better, and they think it's because the first dose got the immune system involved, but it didn't provoke a super strong response. And so then a month later, and this is another one where you got to wait a month in between injections. A month later, when they gave people the full dose, then the body kind of like, oh, this is really, it's like I'm making things seem human when they're not. But the body's response was, the immune system response was, oh, we got to kick it in overdrive now because we saw this before and it didn't seem like a big deal now. But then the immune system is primed already for that second dose, and so that helps. And so that was kind of interesting. I don't know if that holds true for these other vaccines or not. I don't know if anybody's tried. So anyway, that's the latest news on the vaccine front. So it looks like we will probably, I don't know when it'll be approved in the United States, but I'm sure if the UK approves it, then approval in the United States won't be far behind. They probably just need to finish up that third trial, those phase 3 trials, and then get the paperwork over to the FDA and get it looked at and scrutinized. All right, well, that's the latest news. I'm going to do my weekly report here in just a minute. The numbers are up, and I need to do a little bit more analysis to see what the death rate looks like, because more people are dying, but with so many more people getting a case, I'm not surprised. So what I really want to look at is what is the death rate of confirmed cases. That's what I really want to see. All right, and then so we'll have that for you later on this afternoon, or I might do that first, and then you'll wonder why I'm talking about doing a report later. I don't know. Well, it's been good talking to you. Hope you have a good day. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the section below. Like and subscribe. We appreciate it when you do. We'll see you on the next fact-filled video.